Hi guys, so now I'm actually going to speak about what actually went into our magazine article. I'm going to talk about various things today. One of the things I'm here to talk about is what sort of content we actually showed within our magazine article. Um, Really, we have 3 to 4 main content types for our article. Now, one of them is obviously the description of our narrative and what actually happens in the short film, which is obviously what our audience ultimately wants to see. You know, they want to hear what our short film's about, what's gone into it, what happens, and obviously the majority of the text on our magazine article is actually based around our narrative and what's inside our short film. Obviously this is probably the most important part of the article, so that the audience can see what's ultimately in the short film, so they can decide whether they want to see it or not. The other major content part within the magazine for our short film is actually a small bar to the right hand side, which actually shows various tweets from our audience members. Now what this does is this allows audience members that are actually reading the magazine article a chance to read real life reviews about the short film. You know, seeing a short tweet here and there, gives them a brief idea as to what people actually thought of the short film, which is always good for them to see. Obviously, audience members prefer to see real life reviews as opposed to film critics. Obviously, they're good as well, but it's nice to hear normal people talking about, various films that they've just seen and giving their opinion on them. One other thing on the magazine article is actually the main image we've used. Now the image we've used is a very simple picture. It's a very simple photograph to take, other than the fact that we added a long exposure to it. So we basically took a picture from the top of a bridge looking down on towards heavy traffic. And what we did was we added a long exposure element to the shot, so make the traffic look like it was travelling at such a high speed that it was actually fading through the picture. Now we did this because it adds the element of time, and time is a big part within our short film. You know, the whole idea of time being slow at the start before anything happens, before the disequilibrium, and then once the disequilibrium has come in and recognition comes in that the female is actually in trouble, the short film speeds up. Obviously, so you've got a distinction between the two time differences, and the fact that the vehicles are very fast moving because they've been long exposed actually looks really cool, and it adds an element of ambiguity to the image and the magazine article and gives the audience an idea of what it's about, but at the same time doesn't give them enough that they know everything about the short film, so it would entice them to watch the short film and see what it's all about, really. Now the third thing I'm going to speak about is the colour scheme. Now we haven't added too much colour to our magazine article as to make it look unprofessional or cartoonish. We wanted to keep it plain and simple, really. We decided to go with the colour blue. There's no reasoning behind this, really. It was just that we looked at the blue and we felt the blue looked the best. We have tried to use a few different shades of blue, and we used a specific shade of blue for the tweet section to mimic the colour blue from Twitter. This signifies to our audience members that it is a column for Twitter tweets, and it just correlates better, really. We found that it made the whole magazine article more cohesive, that we use different shades of blue. It just adds a little bit of differentiation between them, makes it more interesting to look at, basically. So yeah.